Today we are going to discuss about the topic of what inductance. So which topic we are going to discuss today? Inductance. Before going to discuss the topic of inductance, once again we recall the fundamentals. So what is the fundamentals we discussed in the electromagnetic induction means? Due to the change in external magnetic flux, some of the fluxes are linked with the given coil, some of the fluxes are linked with the given coil. As a result, some induced EMF as well as some induced current is produced in that respective coil. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Electromagnetic induction. So which is explained by the Michael Faraday. In the Michael Faraday we discuss three different experiments. In the experiment number 1 we consider a coil as well as the bar magnet. In the experiment number 2 as well as the 3 we consider two different coils calling as C1, C2. There what you did actually means, keeping the coil C1 will be as a constant, and for the C1 we are connecting the galvanometer, and in the coil C2 you are changing the magnitude of the electrical current, which is produced by the battery. As a result, due to the change in a current in the coil C2, the magnetic field which is produced around the C2 also changes. As a result, the magnetic flux developed by the coil C2 will also changes. Due to the change in a magnetic flux, which is produced by the coil C2, induced current was produced in the coil C1. So here this is the point we have to understood. Once again, here, who are the source for producing the induced current means, the source for producing the induced current is the coil C2. Due to the change in the current of C2 coil, the magnetic flux surrounded by the coil C2 changes. Due to the change in a magnetic flux which was produced by the coil C2 in the coil C1, induced current will be produced. The same phenomena we are calling as what? Inductance. So how can we define the term inductance? Means the inductance is the phenomena due to which induced current is produced in a given coil. Due to the change in a magnetic flux produced by either the same coil or another coil which is placed nearby it. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as induction. Once again, how can we define the definition? Induction is the phenomena in which an induced current is produced in a coil due to the change in a magnetic flux produced by either the same coil or the another coil which is placed nearer to it. Such a type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Induction. Now you can see the definition. So what is the definition of the inductance? The phenomena due to which induced current is produced in a coil. Due to the change in a magnetic flux produced by either the same coil or by another coil which was placed nearer to the first one, So this is the actual definition of the induction, Once we see the phenomena in which an induced current is produced in the given coil due to the change in a magnetic flux, which is produced by either the same coil or the another coil which was placed nearer to it. So here we are assuming that here, what is the source for the magnetic flux? The source for the magnetic flux is nothing but electrical current. So, to understand more easily, according to the experiment number 2, we consider here two coils. So, this is the coil C1 and we consider one more coil C2. So, this is the coil C2, this is the coil what? C1. So, here actually the induced current is produced in which coil? The induced current is produced in the coil C1 due to the change in a magnetic flux, which is produced by the coil C2, So, here the coil C2 will be taken as the source. Taken as the source, and where its effect will be identified means its effect will be identified in the coil C1. So this is the actual definition of the inductance. Now, so here actually we have two types of inductance. So one is calling as a self-induction, another one is calling as a what? Mutual induction. In any one of the induction, the amount of the flux which is passing through any one of the coil or which is linked with the any one of the coil is directly proportional to the current which will be producing the external magnetic flux, or we will write the induced flux, which is passing through any one of the coil, is directly proportional to the current which is the source of the external magnetic flux. Once again, this definition is very important, this relation is very important, we have to understand. Here, the current is actually produced where? In the coil C2. As a result, this current will be producing the external magnetic flux. The current I will be passing through which coil? Through the coil C2. This current will be, this is the main source current. This main source current will be producing the external magnetic flux. This external magnetic flux will be passing through the coil C1. The flux which is linked with the coil C1 will be calling as induced flux. So clearly we have to understood about three different terms. What is the I here? I is the source current. Due to which external flux will be produced. This external flux will be passing through the coil. Some of the external flux will be passing through the coil. That flux what we are calling as induced flux. Now, I wrote one relation. Phi is directly proportional to I. Here phi is denoting what? The amount of the induced flux, which is linked with any one of the given coil, is directly proportional to the current I. This current I is taken as a what? Source current. This current I is taken as a what? Source current. That current I is not the induced current. That is the main current. Here the left side term is indicating what? Induced flux. So from this relation what we will say is the amount of the induced flux, which is linked with any one of the coil, is directly proportional to the either main current or source current. From this we will write that the flux phi is directly proportional to I. So here when you wrote a phi means what we have to assume that is the magnetic flux linked with the given coil C1 or induced flux is directly proportional to I. Suppose if the coil C1 is consisting of n number of turns, at that time the flux linked with the secondary coil or coil C1 will be increases by n number of times, so that if the coil is consisting of capital N number of turns, so the equation 1 can be written as n phi is directly proportional to I. So whenever a single coil will be present, the amount of the flux linked with that coil is directly proportional to the main current. If the same coil is consisting of n number of turns, the total flux linked with that coil C1 is directly proportional to the main current. So here, if you remove this proportionality, we have to introduce one proportionality constant. That proportionality constant is calling as inductance. So here, what is the inductance means? In the either equation 1 or equation 2, if you want to remove the proportionality term, you have to introduce one constant value. That constant value we are calling as inductance. So we have two types of inductions already I told, self-induction and mutual inductance. So their coefficients we are calling as coefficient of self-induction or coefficient of mutual inductance. So the proportionality constants are indicating what? Either it is a self-induction or mutual induction. And the SI unit for the induction is, this coefficient of induction is what? Henry. What is the SI unit? SI unit is what? Henry. And the dimension formula of the inductance is, the dimension formula will be given by ml square t power minus 2 a power minus 2. So what is the dimensional formula for the coefficient of the induction or inductance means ml square t power minus 2 a power minus 2. So this is about the basic of induction. Once again see here, already this concept you know very well, that only we defined as induction. So the phenomena in which induced current is produced in a given coil, that induced current is produced in a given coil due to the change in a magnetic flux, which is produced by either the same coil or the another coil. Such type of phenomena we are calling as a what? Induction. Okay. Now here this is a relation we have to understand very clearly, means phi is directly proportional to I. There phi is denoting what? The phi means what we have to assume? The flux linked with the secondary coil. I is denoting what? Source current or main current. So here in generally we are using the two different coils. One is a primary coil, another one is a what? Secondary coil. Primary coil in the sense means that the coil which is producing the magnetic flux. So here the coil C2 will be calling as primary coil, since it is a source. due to this source only you are getting the induced current, and where you are getting the induced current, where you are getting the induced current, or where the induced EMF was produced, such a type of a coil we are calling as a what? Secondary coil. Once again, which one we are choosing as the primary coil? The coil due to which external magnetic flux will be produced. The coil due to which external magnetic flux will be produced, such a type of coil will be taken as primary coil. The coil due to which induced EMF is we found, or the coil in which induced EMF will be produced, that is calling as a what? Secondary coil. So this is the introduction part. What is the SI unit? Henry, and dimensional formula is a what? ml square T power minus 2 A power minus 2. Next one is mutual inductions. Already I told that the induction is mainly classified into two different categories. One is calling as self-induction and the other one is called what? Mutual induction. First we will discuss about the mutual inductions. Already I told we consider two different coils. We consider two different coil. One of the coil will be calling as a what? Primary coil, and the other coil is a what? Secondary coil. How can we define it is a primary coil? Means the coil due to which external magnetic flux will be produced. The coil due to which external magnetic flux will be produced, or the coil in which either source current or main current will be present. The coil in which either main current or source current will be present, that is the calling as primary coil, or the coil which is producing the external magnetic flux. Such a type of a coil is also calling as a what? Primary coil. Primary coil. So if you look at the diagram, it is also similar to the experiment number 2. Experiment number 2. So here the primary coil is consisting of what? A source of EMF, and there is a plug key will be present within the primary coil, and in the secondary coil, where its effect will be observed, that is consisting of only a galvanometer was present. Now, so what is the definition of the mutual induction? So the definition of the mutual induction is the phenomena due to which induced current is produced in a coil due to the change in magnetic flux, produced by the another coil placed nearer to it. So what is the definition of the mutual induction? The phenomena due to which the induced current is produced in one coil, due to the change in magnetic flux, which is produced by the another coil. So that's what we consider here. Two different coils will be considered. So the primary coil, how can we define the primary coil? The coil due to which change in a magnetic flux is produced. Change in a magnetic flux will be produced. How the change in a magnetic flux will be produced? Now we will discuss. See, whenever the key will be open, is the current is flowing through the primary coil? No. If there is no current, there is no magnetic field, there is no external flux. So whenever the key will be closed, so when K is closed, so what we observe means the electrical current will be exist. in the primary coil, in the primary coil. So whenever the current will be flowing through the coil, if the nature of the current will be the steady current, if the nature of the current will be the steady current, so that a current, whatever the current that is produced in the primary coil, that will be producing the constant flux, that will be producing the constant flux. So whenever the constant flux will be there, change in flux is equal to 0. Change in flux is equal to 0 means the galvanometer does not showing any deflection, So that to get the deflection in the galvanometer, which was connected in the secondary coil, what we have to do means, so when current value changes, whenever the current value changes, what we observed? So we observe there was a change in magnetic flux. There was a change in magnetic flux. So as a result, induced current is produced in the coil. Yes, in the coil. Yes. So when we observe, there was a deflection that is produced in the galvanometer, which was connected to the secondary coil means, whenever the current value will be changes, as a result, the magnetic field surrounded by the primary coil will be changes. As a result, the external flux was changes. As a result, the flux linked with the secondary coil changes. Finally, you get the induced current. As a result, the galvanometer will be showing the deflection. So, what is the source? What is the condition to need to get the induced current means the primary current or the main current in the primary coil must be changes. Then only you will get the induced current that was produced in the secondary coil. So such a type of phenomena is calling as, will be calling as mutual induction. So what is the phenomena? Due to the change in the primary current, if the flux linked with the secondary coil will be changes. As a result, if you find induced current in the secondary coil, such a phenomena we are calling as what? Mutual induction. So this is the concept of mutual induction. The coefficient of mutual induction. So here we are going to derive the expression for the coefficient of mutual induction. So already I told, whatever the induction, either it is a self-induction or mutual inductions, what I wrote that the flux which is linked with any one of the coil, is directly proportional to the main current, So in the case of the mutual induction, we consider the two different coils. One of the coil is called what? A primary coil or the source coil, and the second one is a what? Secondary coil. So in the case of the mutual induction, this flux will be existed in where? In the secondary coil. This linked flux or induced flux will be produced in where? In the secondary coil. That's why I wrote phi suffix s. Phi suffix s is indicating what? The flux linked with the secondary coil is directly proportional to current passing through the primary coil. So that's what we write here, where phi s is denotes what? The flux linked with the secondary coil. Whereas I suffix P will be indicating what? Current flows through the primary coil. So here we wrote the general equation for the induction. What is the general equation for the induction? The amount of the flux linked with a given coil is directly proportional to the main current or source current. So, in the mutual induction, you consider the two different coils. That's why I wrote the flux linked with the secondary coil is directly proportional to the main current. So, phi S is directly proportional to what? IP. If the secondary coil is consisting of n number of turns, the same equation how can we write? N into phi S is directly proportional to what? IP. N into phi S is directly proportional to what? IP. Already I told, to remove the proportionality, we have to introduce one constant. For the above equation, phi suffix S is equal to M into IP. Phi suffix S is equal to what? M into IP. So here, this M is indicating what? So here, M will be calling as coefficient of mutual induction. So what is the M denotes here? The M is denoting the coefficient of the mutual induction. Once again, see what we consider here. The amount of the flux linked with the secondary coil is directly proportional to the main current which was present in the primary coil. So to remove the proportionality, we have to introduce one constant. That constant is nothing but calling as a what? Coefficient of mutual induction. Now, how can we define definition of capital M? That means how can we define the coefficient of mutual induction? See, from this equation, let it be equation number 1. So from equation number 1, I will write M is equal to phi suffix S by IP. M is equal to what? Phi suffix S by IP. What is the phi suffix S? The amount of the flux which is linked with the secondary coil. IP is denoting what? Primary current, or the current which was present in the primary coil. So that the coefficient of mutual induction is equal to the flux linked with the secondary coil whenever a unit current is flowing through the primary coil. Once again, how can we define the coefficient of mutual induction? Means the coefficient of mutual induction is equal to the amount of the flux which is linked with the secondary coil, whenever a unit current is flowing through the primary coil. So that is the definition of coefficient of mutual induction. Now, we know that according to the Faraday law, so what is the formula for the induced EMF? So the induced EMF is given by minus d phi by dt. Where this induced EMF is produced in the secondary coil, so that I will write the induced EMF which is produced in the secondary coil is equal to the negative rate of change of magnetic flux that was linked with the secondary coil. So the expression for the induced EMF will be given by E suffix S is equal to minus d phi by dt. So already you know what is the phi S, the amount of the flux which was linked with the secondary coil. So that now we derive the expression for the induced EMF. The induced EMF for the secondary coil will be given by minus d by dt of m into Ip, minus d by dt of m into Ip. So here m is a what? Constant, so that E suffix s is equal to m into dip by dt. E suffix s is equal to what? The induced EMF which is produced in the secondary coil. The induced EMF which is produced in the secondary coil is equal to minus m into dip by dt. What is the dip by dt? dip by dt is indicating the rate of change of electrical current, rate of change of electrical current in the primary coil. So the expression for the induced EMF which was produced in the secondary coil is given by E suffix s is equal to minus m into dip by dt. So this is the expression for induced EMF as well as the expression for the coefficient of mutual induction. So this is the expression for what? Coefficient of mutual induction. Next concept, very important question for the 5 marks. The coefficient of mutual induction for the two long coaxial solenoids. Here we are going to derive actually what? We are going to derive the expression for the coefficient of the mutual induction, for the two long coaxial solenoids. That means their common axis will be existed for the given coils. So when the coefficient of mutual induction will be existing, whenever there is a two different coils will be there, then only the mutual induction concept will be existed, or the mutual induction phenomena will be existed. For that, here we consider the two different coils. So here some of the assumptions are there. So we will assume S1 comma S2 are taken as two coaxial solenoids. So what are the S1 comma S2? S1 comma S2 are two coaxial solenoids. And we are assuming that the length of both the solenoids will be remain same. So both the solenoids will be having what? Similar length. So one more assumption is what? The length of each solenoid will be remain same. Similarly, we are also assuming that the area of cross section capital A is also be what? Remain same. So these are the assumptions I taken while we are deriving the expression for coefficient of mutual induction in the case of the two long coaxial solenoids. Once again, what we consider here, so this is a bigger solenoid S1 we are assuming here, and the second solenoid will be what? Indicating with the S2. And what is the assumption here means, in both the cases of S1 comma S2, both are having the same length, as well as both the solenoids are having the same area of cross section. Now, I am assuming that the current will be flowing through the solenoid S1 only. Already I told. In which coil the main current will be flowing? That coil will be acting as a primary coil. So here the current will be flowing through which coil? S1 coil. So that I will be taking as S1 coil will be the primary coil. So whenever some current is flowing through the primary coil S1, it will be producing the magnetic field, it will be producing the external magnetic flux. As a result, induced EMF will be produced in which coil? Secondary coil. So that in the coil S2, what we observe? Induced EMF. Induced EMF is Produced. Induced EMF is a what? Produced. In which coil the induced EMF was produced? In the secondary coil S2. In which coil the primary current will be flowing? Means through the coil S1 current will be flowing. As a result, that coil will be named as a what? Primary coil. Once again, see here. What we consider here? We consider the two different coils S1, S2, and both are arranged coaxially together, and we are assuming that both the coils will be having the same length as well as same area of cross section. Here what was the main assumption is that? The main assumption is that the electrical current is flowing through the coil S1. So whenever the current is flowing through the given coil, according to our previous knowledge, we are taken as that coil as a what? A primary coil. So with this effect, in which coil the induced EMF or the induced current was produced, that coil will be calling as a what? Secondary coil. So that the induced EMF is finally produced in which coil? Means in the coil S2. In the coil S2. Now we are going to derive the derivation. Now, so whenever the current is flowing through any one of the solenoid, magnetic field will be developed. Here, one more assumption is that, so N1 comma N2 are indicating the number of turns in S1 comma S2 respectively. So whenever you consider one solenoid, it is consisting of so many number of turns. So here what we assume means, here capital N1 comma capital N2 are indicating the total number of turns in the coils S1 comma S2 respectively. Now, so since the current is flowing through the coil S1, the magnetic field intensity at the center of the solenoid S1 is given by, so what we are writing here, the magnetic field intensity produced in the coil S1 is given by, so we know that the formula is equal to B is equal to mu naught Ni. Already this formula we derived. So what is the expression for the magnetic field intensity at the center of the solenoid? That is given by what? B is equal to mu naught Ni. Here two coils are there, so that the field will be produced by the S1. So this magnetic field will be indicated with what? B1 is equal to mu naught N1 into I. B1 is equal to what? Mu naught N1 into I. What is the small n here? The small n is denoting number of turns present per unit length. Because it is related to the first coil, so small n1 is equal to capital N1 by L. Therefore, B1 becomes mu naught N1 by L into I. So equation number 2. So if you look at the diagram, the S2 is surrounded by the S1. S2 is what? Surrounded by S1. So S2 coil is surrounded by the S1 coil. S2 coil is what? Surrounded by the coil S1. So since the coil S2 is surrounded by the S1, whatever the magnetic field which is produced by the S1, as a result, the entire flux is passing through the solenoid S2. Since S2 is surrounded by the coil S1, so whatever the magnetic field lines which are produced by the S1, all these lines of forces are passing through the coil S2. So I will calculate the flux linked with each turn in S2 is. So what value I want to calculate? The amount of the flux linked with each turn in the case of the S2, that will be taken as phi naught. So phi suffix 0 is indicating what? Flux linked with each turn. So flux phi is equal to formula we know. Flux phi is equal to formula what we know? B into A. Since B bar comma A bar vector will be acting in the same direction in the case of this solenoid. So here B means what? We have to write B1. We have to write what? B1. Now, since the coil S2 is consisting of N2 number of turns, since the coil S2 is consisting of N2 number of turns, we will write the total flux which is passing through the coil S2, the total flux which is passing through the coil S2, which is equal to N2 into phi naught. N2 into phi naught. So phi naught is indicating what? Flux linked with the single turn. So n number of turns will be there. Total flux is equal to what? N2 into phi naught. Total flux is equal to total flux. This total flux also we are calling as a what? Induced flux. Since that flux is linked with the S2, that only we are saying that is nothing but induced flux. Induced flux. So that is equal to N2 into phi naught. Phi naught is equal to what? B1 into A. Therefore, N2 into, what is the B1 value? Mu naught N1 by L into I. Again A will be there. So here simply I wrote the value of B1. What is the value of B1? Mu naught N1 by L into I. So therefore the total induced flux is equal to N2 into mu naught N1 by L into I into A. It is simplified as mu naught N1 N2 A by L into I. So induced flux is equal to what? You got the equation. So total induced flux is equal to, you got mu naught N1 N2 A by L into I. Already you wrote the induced flux is directly proportional to main current I, and you know already that the induced flux is equal to M into I. The induced flux is equal to what? M into I. When you remove the proportionality, you have to introduce the proportionality constant. So that here in the place of the induced flux, I will write M into I, which is equal to mu naught N1 N2 A by L into I. Simply you wrote the value of phi induced is equal to M into I. Here we follow one notation. That notation we have to understood. So here M is indicated by M suffix 1 2. What is M suffix 1 2 means? The coefficient of mutual induction. When current is flowing through the primary coil, here 1 stands for what? 1 is denoting that the current is produced in which coil? So here in this particular case, current is produced in which coil? First coil. That's why we write M suffix 1 2, and 2 stands for what? 2 stands for the induced EMF. The induced EMF is produced in which coil? So here in M12, 1 denotes what? Current flows through the first coil. 2 denotes induced EMF produced in the second coil. So what we have to understood, in M12, 1 is stands for current is passing through the first coil, and 2 is indicating what? Induced EMF is produced in the second coil. From this equation, I will be getting cancelled. Therefore, M12 is equal to mu naught N1 N2 A by L. So that is a required expression. For the coefficient of mutual induction. Here, According to our first assumption, you assumed that current is flowing through the first coil, induced EMF is produced in the secondary coil. Suppose if you assume the current is flowing through the secondary coil or second coil S2 and the induced EMF is produced with the first coil at that time, so you will get M21 also equal to the same value you are getting. There was no change in this magnitude value since the coefficient of a mutual induction is a constant value. Either you take the current in the first coil or you take the current in the secondary coil, there was no change in the value of coefficient of mutual induction, so that the final equation for the coefficient of mutual induction will be given by M is equal to mu naught N1 N2A by L. So this is the final expression for the coefficient of mutual induction. This coefficient of mutual induction depends upon some of the factors. The coefficient of mutual induction will be depends upon what? Some of the factors. The first one is since we are placing both the coils together, as a result, some amount of the flux is linked with the secondary coil. Suppose if the coils will be placed far away from each other, only less amount of flux will be flowing through the coil. Since the definition of M is equal to phi by I. So, whenever the distance of separation between the coils will becomes larger, only you observe less amount of the flux. So that the first point is M is depends upon distance of separation between the two given coils. M is depends upon what factors? M is depends upon the distance of separation between the two different coils. And you know that flux phi is directly proportional to the number of turns. Whenever the number of turns increases, the amount of the flux is also what? Increases. So that M is also depends upon number of turns. M is also depends upon the what? Number of turns. And if you are placing any one of the magnetic substance in the axis of the two coils, here also you observe that the flux value will be changes. So that the material medium of the axis of both the coils, which type of material medium will be placed in between the axis of the two given coils, on that factor also the coefficient of mutual inductance will be depends. And fourth one, orientation of the coils. Say, if the plane of the coils will be parallel to each other, maximum flux will be passing. If one coil will be like this, another coil will be like this, they will be perpendicular to each other. At that time, you find a less amount of the flux will be passing through that given coil. As a result, the coefficient of a mutual inductance value also to be less. So that whenever the coils are arranged parallel to each other, the coefficient of a mutual inductance value becomes to what? Maximum. Whenever the coils will be arranged perpendicular to each other, the coefficient of the mutual inductance value becomes to what? Minimum. So these are the factors on which the coefficient of the mutual inductance will be depends mean distance of the separation between the two coils, number of turns, material medium, as well as orientation of the coils. Thank you.